Scott, another absolutely fantastic Tuesday night win at Arbour Park. I'm sure you're going to say the same. 3-2 in the end over Dorking Wanderers, and a fantastic start to boot as well.
Yeah, I was really frustrated at half-time that we came in 2-1 up, and that might sound crazy, but we didn't actually implement the plan, and the plan was to make them feel uncomfortable, go and get after them, make it a high-intensity football match. I felt like we could sort of run the legs out of them, and we didn't do it, and I think their goal is a really bad goal to concede because there was no pressure on the ball, and I said, closest man, go and get to the ball all over the pitch, and we'll worry about if they play through us, play round us, play over us. And it was really disappointing to concede that goal. But the positives, obviously, Franny's got down the sides and does what he does best. And then Davies scored a hell of a goal. And we have stuck with them recently. We've allowed them to play. They've probably not been at their best at times. But on a night like tonight, when we needed them most, they've come up trumps. So really, really pleased with the whole team, of course. The lads that came on as well, and it's a great performance. I'm a lot more pleased with the second half than I was with the first half because it felt like the real us. We played at our tempo. I said to the lads, this is our house, go and get the ball back. And I felt like they had too much of it in the first half, and that was really frustrating.
How worried were you around the 60th minute mark when we had those three massive chances in a row within seconds of all three of them? Did that make you feel like maybe it's not quite our night?
Yeah, you always worry. You always wonder if it's going to be something that comes back to bite you. But I think the third goal was huge. And then we go and concede, obviously, within 2 minutes, a really disappointing goal to concede. I think someone's lost their man in the box. It was a soft free kick. It was a free kick, but it was a soft one. We didn't need to give it away. And then a free header in our box, which we're usually very, very good at defending. But I thought we saw the game out pretty well. I thought Gary Abisogan come on and slowed the game down for us. He took it into the corner and things like that. And game management is great when you do it correctly and do it right. But I think overall they had some chances. We had some chances, but I think we probably had the better ones, if I'm honest. But I'll have to watch it back. I'll obviously dissect it, go through it, but I didn't care how the result came tonight as long as we got 3 points after a sort of a disappointing day on Saturday. If I could have won one of the two games, if I had to choose, I would have picked tonight, and I'm sure the boys would have as well. Yella just said that's the same to me. We want to make this place a fortress. I think that's 6 wins, 2 draws and a defeat now. So I'm so proud of the boys for making it that. Obviously with a joint effort from the fans, the atmosphere was great tonight, and it's nice to celebrate that with them at the end of the game.
I hate to sound a bit like a broken record, but I feel like I'm talking about this player basically every week now in John Gilbert. I think a massive effort has to go towards him for that third goal, doesn't it, after he robbed the goalkeeper for it?
Yeah, 100%, but then their goal comes from him not doing what I asked him to do. So I'm not gonna hammer him for that because he runs more than anyone in the team and he's been absolutely superb. But he was probably he was probably a little bit more reserved in the first half, and I didn't want him to be that. I wanted him to go and press with Slavy, and when he did it, like you say, it comes off and it pays off, and it ultimately gets us the win. So he's obviously superb, but you can go through the whole team. I think Henry Ochieng, for example, never really gets too much of a mention, and he's been outstanding all season. Leon's work rate in there, and then you go through sort of the back four, the wide men, Slavy in a sort of lone striker role. Charlie Horlock in goal. I've mentioned the whole team, but it is a joint effort. We can't win a game by ourselves. We're not that type of team. We have to do it together. When everyone's 7.5, 8 out of 10s, we've got a chance. When we're below that, we get beat. It's as simple as that, because there's teams in this league that are better footballing teams than us. But the one thing that no team in this league will go and do is outwork us. Right? They might be better than us with the ball, but we can run, and that's one thing that we've got. It's our superpower. And when we come off it a little bit, we come unstuck, and we've noticed that. So, extremely proud of the boys. Great night, great attendance. And to beat a club like Dorking, it's no mean feat. I know they've got a lot of injuries and things like that. And it's important to mention Charlie Carter as well. Obviously, what he's going through at the moment, all of our thoughts are with him. It's extremely sad from what I've heard, and hopefully he's back soon, because there's good news on the horizon.
17 games played then. It's 28 points now. I think we've just entered into the last spot in the playoffs for now. How do you look at that and sort of try and understand what you're looking at now moving forwards?
Easy. 22 points from safety. I genuinely mean that. every time we win a game, I scroll to the bottom of the league. Other teams will be winning games and looking at the top. I scroll to the bottom. I think we only have to go back the season before last, and how exhausting it is, how consuming it is when you're in a relegation battle. We don't want to be in one of those. We want to make sure that we can get to 50 points as soon as we can. We know that in this league, it's relentless. You can go and lose 4 or 5 games in a row, and all of a sudden you're looking over your shoulder. Would we have ripped your hand off for 28 points after 17 games? 100%. We just want to enjoy it, Con. There's no pressure or expectation, I don't believe, anyway, from the people that are above me. The remit was to stay in the league while they're trying to build the club. And I think we're doing that. I think you can see that on the pitch. We've got some fantastic young footballers. We've got some experience. We've got people coming through the gates now. The gates going up. There's so much good work going on behind the scenes. It's a lovely football club now with the bar. We're stood in a beautiful gym, and we're extremely lucky. So yeah, I feel privileged and honoured to obviously be at the front of that in terms of the footballing side managing. But it is a group effort. I think the staff that I've got in amongst the group are fantastic people, and the players give us absolutely everything, and we've just got to be happy with that.
We take a short break now from league action at the weekend. We face a familiar side, funnily enough, in the FA Trophy in Chatham Town, with a few familiar faces as well. How will preparation go for that game? Dangerous game.
We've obviously beaten them in the FA Cup. There'll be a bit of needle, I guess, where they'll want to come here and try and get a result. And I've just warned the boys of that, because you can obviously get complacent after a great win like tonight against a really good football club. And then you play Chatham in the league below. People might take their foot off the gas. They might turn up and think, do you know what, we can have a nice game of football and do it our way. And it certainly won't be that. We can see from the away game there, it was really tough. The 3-0 scoreline flattered us. But we'll have to have a look. We've got some tired bodies in there. Yeah, a lot of boys that have gone through the mill. We had a couple of injuries tonight that obviously weren't included in the squad. So we'll see how boys are over the next sort of 48 hours. Pick a team on Thursday night and hopefully have a run in the trophy. That's the aim. We've not probably done it enough in my time at the club. It would be nice to do that. And it's a competition that hopefully we can bring some money into the club and create some memories.
And just finally, quickly, you mentioned there about players not involved this evening. I just wanted to ask you for an update on both Quakey Lucan and Johnny Goddard.
Yeah, so Quake's got injured on Saturday. He's just got a sprain on his ankle, and he's got a bruised ankle bone, so it was only right to rest him tonight. And Johnny, we knew that he was going to have an operation. It's only a small procedure that might keep him out for a couple of weeks. It just depends how he recovers from it. So yeah, hopefully they'll be back sooner rather than later. But the beauty is the boys have done well tonight. We've got options coming off the bench. You can obviously see the ones that have come on tonight. You've got Sam, Dan, Gary, Spicer, Josh. It's not a bad bench to have. So yeah, there is strength in depth for sure. We're never going to moan about players being out injured. We've been relatively lucky, and hopefully luck continues on our side that we don't pick up too many more injuries.
Congratulations again on tonight's win over Dorking. It's got 3-2, and we'll see you on Saturday for the FA Trophy.
Cheers, Connor. Thank you.